dear Mercedes-Benz patrons. Well, today we have two power mills in the house, the all-new AMG E63, and for the first time ever we will be launching the new AMG E53. My name is Frisia, and it is such an honor and privilege that I can come here and be your host for today. For all of you that are sitting right here in this room with us, it's so wonderful to see each and every one of you physically after such a long time. And for all of you that have tuned in right now, we would have loved to have you right here with us on ground. But given the current circumstances that the entire world is in, I think we're still a long way to go for physical events. Having said that, we have taken all the protocols for each and every one of you that have joined us over here, and thank you for coming. So to take forward the proceedings, please join me in welcoming Mr. Santosh Iyer, Vice President, Sales and Marketing, Mercedes-Benz India.
Thank you, Frisia. Maybe I remove my mask because we are 6 feet away as such and following the protocols. But again, thanks to all of you who are present here physically and also to the media friends who have joined us virtually. Actually, what you see in this slide is a throwback picture. You know, it was last time, 4 months back, we exactly met in the same venue during the launch of the new E-Class. And frankly, a lot has changed over this time, you know, but for us, there is always a hope for a better and healthier tomorrow. And somewhere after June, we said this is the right time. We do a calibrated way for a Fiji Digital launch. And that's our step in trying to experiment with this format as such. So also, frankly, we need to reboot the ecosystem to start our operations. And what a better way than launching new products, because that's what excites the market. That's what excites customers. And as Frisia, you mentioned, you know, we have taken all the precautions for everybody's safety. It remains our top priority, needless to mention.
You know, you're absolutely right, and that is such a respite, Santosh. So, we've taken care of all the safety precautions over here, but how did Mercedes-Benz wade through this crisis? I mean, this was a humanitarian crisis after all.
Actually, our belief is clearly people are ahead of business. You know, people make the business for us. So before we even started ramping up our business, we ensured employees at Mercedes-Benz India, Chakan, our contractors, even the dealer partners, all of them have vaccinated at least with 1 dose. And I'm actually happy to share that 100% of our Mercedes-Benz India staff, close to 95% of the dealership staff across India, and that's close to 4,500 people have all been vaccinated with the first dose. So we are doing everything not only to take care of them, but also to take care of the employee, the prospects, the customers whom they meet as such. And with this, I think we ensure that we provide a safer environment for our people when we restart our business, and also they will keep the health of the company in good shape if they are in good shape. So that's the philosophy, and so we have taken those due care.
You know, it's absolutely wonderful, and I feel very inspiring to hear, because from what you are saying, it seems that you value the stars who make those three-pointed stars for all our customers. So apart from launching new models, which always make headlines, did Mercedes-Benz India do anything different this year for their dealer partners, their customers?
No, so we have been working on a project. We call it, Retail of the Future. And at Mercedes-Benz, we have always pioneered new segments, launched new products, fascinated customers. However, on 2nd of June, we announced our new initiative. This literally rewrites the retail landscape, I would say, in the automotive industry. There with customers at the center and our dealer partners along with us, we are confident that the retail of the future will change the overall way luxury cars are bought and sold in this market. So that's a big step that we are also taking. It will be live by Q4 of this year.
That's quite an interesting concept, and I feel it's always wonderful to see how you all are in sync with your customers. So let's start with the business side. How did you fare in the sales chart this year?
Well, we released our sales numbers last week. Through Q1, there was a growth of 34% when we look at last year to this year. We have seen the sentiments improving. So we follow a calendar year. So when we look at Jan to June, the sales have gone up by 65%. What you see in the chart is a V-shaped recovery that we have seen. I think this is clearly fueled by new product launches. That's exciting the customers. We are also, we actually have done 8 new product launches. Today's 2 cars takes it to 10. So frankly, products is what excites customers, and that's reflected in the sales numbers also.
So when there is such a sharp recovery, it is obviously natural that you will witness an increase in demand. So how did the team at Mercedes-Benz India then kind of balance out this demand supply?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can call it a rich man's problem. You have more demand than supply. But then what we believe is in transparency. So what you see on the chart again is it's basically a transparent chart which shows the availability of cars to customers. And I'm happy to share that almost all our products, whether new, existing ones, are all on wait list due to an overwhelming customer response. So this chart is available across our dealership, whether it's a newly launched S-Class that we did 15 days back, the new GLA, the A limousine that we launched in the month of March. We have a waiting period ranging from 4 to 8 weeks depending on the models, variant. And also for our cars that we launched last year, actually we did GLE, the GLS, the EQC, and all these cars are currently even having high customer demand. Frankly, the good news is when you come about electrification, there is a fresh batch of EQCs which will arrive at the Indian shows. They will be available in the month of September, right at the time of festive period. So that's where we are today. And also what we have done is we have ramped up our production from July, of course following all the government protocols, COVID appropriate behavior, and also this should help us to now take care of the rising demand.
You know, it's quite an interesting concept that you've just shown a little earlier, this whole thing of showcasing the available dealer stock transparently to all the customers. And given the demand of Mercedes-Benz cars that we have here in India, I'm wondering how are the AMGs performing worldwide?
Well, AMG is quite significant for us and close to our heart. It's a performance brand for Mercedes-Benz, and globally we have done more than 1,25,000 cars last year. So I think it goes from strength to strength. Of course, the major markets are US, Germany, China, Korea, and also of course Australia. They contribute, but India is also catching up.
Wow, so that's quite a bit of demand that we're seeing worldwide. And what about India? Is it like equally strong over here?
Yes, in India we have seen the AMG and Dream Car segments have grown 3 times compared to 2020. It's grown more than 200%. So percentages of course look bigger because the base may be small, but 3 times growth, and June has seen the highest ever growth that we have seen. Also, when you look at India, you know, the rising economy, there is a big demand in the younger age bracket. The 40 to 45 year customers, you know, this is something new. They come first time into the segment. They have studied abroad. They have taken over their family business, and they just want to drive these performance machines. So this shows the potential for the segment also for the future.
You know, 3 times growth is a lot. I mean, especially given the kind of current scenario that we are in right now. And that makes me curious. So what is the strategy behind the AMG success story here in India?
Well, you know, this threefold growth is not an overnight success for us. We started on the AMG path quite some years back. And we have a very sharp strategy when it comes to performance cars and AMG. We started basically, of course, showing some good cars during auto expos, etc. But frankly, on the brick and mortar side, where we are today, this is an AMG performance center on the top floor. We have such kind of performance centers in 5 cities in India. They have a lot of big customer base. We have done close to 2,000 customers now, AMG fans or customers in India. And we are the first one also to have curated events. You know, we came up with a driving academy. We gave exclusive drives, emotion tours in Sweden. So I think there is a lot of joy in this, in this customers they want to experience. So we have taken some big steps to establish this brand and the product portfolio in India.
So it's not just about then owning this wonderful AMG car, but it's also the experiences that you are offering all your customers, which sound absolutely amazing. So why don't you share a little bit more about the AMG portfolio and maybe a little bit more information on these products?
You know, so strong products are always key to the brand success, and for us the key pillar of the success story in India is our attractive AMG offering, the overall portfolio. Currently, we have a very young and diverse AMG portfolio in India. So it starts from the 35 series, which we introduced this year, to the GT, which is right on the top. And now with the launch of these 2 cars that we will do today, you know, we will have a full portfolio, the 35, the 43, the 53, the 63, and of course the GT, which takes us to a total 11 AMGs to offer to the Indian customers. So this is the largest portfolio that we offer in the performance car segment.
So the AMG expanded with the 35 and then the 43 series, and that was something that happened globally. And you followed that pattern here in India as well. So is that what made the AMGs more popular over here? Is that something that worked?
I think the expansion of the product range definitely has led us to a big success, you know, with the entire product offering.
Yeah.
But the strategic broadening of this portfolio is also, you know, getting us new groups of customers. They are also coming into the brand's portfolio. They are also trying to come in with a 35, and then maybe over a period of time they also upgrade to the top end models.
Yeah.
So I think this is work in progress. We are also satisfied with the response we got to the 35 and the 43. It helps us, you know, in getting the portfolio right, in giving customers as big an option as possible.
It's kind of obvious that it is something that is working, especially this expansion of the AMG portfolio. It looks like it has worked. And now we have this whole new customer set. They've got their own requirements. They've got their own preferences. So was the CKD assembly of the GLC 43 Coupe a similar decision?
Yeah, so, you know, one of the major factors is of course price, and to make it more affordable, we have to localize. So the decision to localize the AMGs confirms a clear commitment to the Indian market. We were the first luxury brand to localize these performance cars, and we want the young performance enthusiasts to get to the brand early. You know, and the products like the 35 and the 43 gets them to the brand. They inspire them to take the journey. And we are sure over a period of time, they will all go into the pure performance cars, racetrack cars like the 63 that we have today, the GT series. So it's a very important milestone to strengthen our commitment on the AMG portfolio for India. Also, the localization is also possible because we have one of the state-of-the-art facility in Pune.
Yeah.
Many of the media friends have visited this. So I think a very strong production plant helps us to localize such cars also.
And I have to say, on a very personal note, I'm always delighted when I do get to visit the plant in Jharkhand. It is such an amazing experience to be there and see that assembly take place. The AMG CKD for sure. Now that was a new trend which you set. And I'm sure that everyone over here watching this launch is also keen to know how these 11 cars are now spread across the family, and how do you distinguish these products?
Well, the 11 products, it's about offering choice. As I mentioned earlier, the customers in this segment want choice. They want a wide offering.
Yeah.
And in the starting range, we have the A35 and the GLA 35. They are the stepping stone to the brand AMG and very high on practicality. Then in the mid-range, we offer the 53 along with the GLE 53, and today we also debut the E53 for the first time in India. And at the top end, we call it the true blue AMGs. They are the 63 series comprising of the C63, the E63. They are practical race cars and very high on daily drivability. So at the top of the spectrum, we also have pure racing machines, the AMG GTR, the GT63 four-door coupe, and that's for the purists. So frankly, you know, offering a portfolio also for different customers helps us to really address this performance car category.
It is a fantastic range, and especially when we're talking about 11 of them right here. But now I have a very frank question to ask you, is that where do you find customers practically driving these cars over here in India?
No, but I think that's the beauty of AMG. The most of the AMGs are just not racing cars, but they strike a fine balance between pure performance on the track as well as the daily drivability. Actually, both the cars that we launched today are ideal examples of racetrack driving. Very good on comfort, convenience. It allows you to even take your family on a long drive. Of course, now I think things are opening up. But yes, take your family on a long drive on weekends as well. So it's a mixture of practicality with performance.
I think that's a perfect idea. You're safe. You get to go on a long weekend drive somewhere and come back home really safely. So I'm very curious to know what inspires an AMG? Like, is it the adrenaline? Is it the passion? Is it that sense of adventure that everybody wants?
You know, all of us, all Mercedes-AMG employees around the world, we live by the brand promise of driving performance. That's what the core DNA of the brand is.
Yeah.
And it's also the passion and emotion associated with AMG that has inspired, you know, generation of motorsports enthusiasts. You see our performance in the motorsports area. And you know, there's a very popular saying in our company, and this is where the DNA of AMG came. It says we win a race on a Sunday and sell on a Monday. And that's where these cars, you know, it came from the track, developed, and then to sell these cars from Affalterbach. So here you see the iconic Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. I think this evokes a lot of emotion by itself. You know, and this is what actually, when you look at our founders, Alfred and Melcher, this signified the arrival of the AMG brand to the world after these races, and that's where we started building these performance racing cars.
It's always wonderful, especially when you get that little piece of history that tells you about a particular car, and in this case, of course, the AMG. So what is the contribution of race cars to AMG's success?
No, I think customers also follow many of these. They are very much interested into motorsports. The success of the innovation to bring on the track is what leads us. So basically the racetrack success has inspired us to produce some of the most iconic production cars and bring some bright stars back on the racing track. In fact, today we have a very special guest. He's joining us from Germany, Nürburgring, close to the Nürburgring area, who has recently made some headlines in the DTM world. I'm sure many of you will guess it. So
that's right. So folks, ladies and gentlemen, a very proud moment for all of us over here, and we hope that you will feel the same as well. I'm really excited to introduce to each and every one of you the young racing talent of India in the motorsport world, Arjun Maini. Arjun has as one of the best karting talents here in India. He's the first Indian to secure a racing drive in the DTM series. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Arjun. We're so happy that you could come and join us virtually.
I'm very happy to be here.
Wonderful to see you. I do know that you are missing home. For all of you, Arjun has been away from India. For how long was that, you were telling us?
I think it's over a couple of months now. Too long already.
Pre-lockdown. Well, if we couldn't physically get you to India, at least we virtually managed to get you right here. So Arjun, I know that this is something that everybody wants to know, but do tell us, what inspired you to become a racer at such an early age?
Yeah, I think it was my father, to be honest, to blame for this, because I mean he exposed me to the world of motorsports when he was racing, and when I was 3 or 4 years old, I was watching him race at the tracks. And you know, I caught the worm early, and I got my first go-kart when I was really young. I started driving very young as well, and so yeah, since then, I mean, we've never looked back.
So when you started with your go-karting at such a young age, how old were you at that point?
So I got my first go-kart when I was 5, and I did my first race when I was 8.
So you started at 5, did your first race at 8. So how does one then kind of say that, okay, this is going to be my career, racing is something that I'm going to take on, and how do you realize that you're going to do that at such a young age?
Well, I think the key word here is the passion that not just me, but the whole family had towards motorsports, towards racing, and the strive to perfection, you know, to be better. And I think that was the key. You know, we already, of course, when you start off, it's a bit of fun and all that, but we were always very serious about our racing. We were never happy when we were not winning. So this is what drove us to be better. It got very, very serious straight after that, and that's what led me to where I am today.
Coming from India, we all know over here that the motorsport culture, it is something that is yet to become absolutely mainstream. It is picking up thanks to pioneers like you. How did you prepare yourself then for international standards?
Well, I think you always have to aim at the highest level, and I think that's the way to approach things like these. It doesn't matter what you're given, you have to make the best use of what you have. And I think aiming like that, working together with my father from the beginning, from a young age, and of course then it got more professional with the engineers and stuff. But aiming at the high level is the key, I think, and you know, not using anything as an excuse, but just trying to get better and better in each step of the way.
Well, Arjun, it's good to have you with us. How was your experience driving for the DTM series with a Mercedes-AMG, and that too as the first Indian?
Well, I think it's an extreme honor for me to roll out of the pits in Monza in the Mercedes-AMG GT3 car. You know, growing up, these are the moments you witness on TV, especially when someone like me following the motorsports from such a young age, and to eventually do it myself, driving out in a DTM weekend in a Mercedes-AMG. It was really, really special, a very emotional moment for me. And I think, I hope I can deliver some good results soon for the whole country to be proud of.
But what makes the Mercedes-AMG brand so special? You know, especially the GT3, it's very close to you. So what makes it so special?
You know, growing up, like I said, you're following the motorsport, you're so involved in the motorsports, and you have connections with these iconic brands, you know, that have been there since the start of motorsport history, I think in the early 1900s even. And so, you know, you're growing up, you're watching TV, and these things are like a dream to you, and you just wish that one day you can be in a situation that you are in a position to drive out in one of your favorite brands and cars. And I think that's why the emotional connect for me was at such a high level. From the moment I've worn these AMG tops, and I wear it with honor. And yeah, when I drove out of the pits, it was just very, very amazing, exceptional feeling for me, and a very proud moment to be a part of the AMG family.
Okay, so then apart from the GT3, let's go away from the GT3. Which other AMG you like driving outside the racetrack?
Well, I think the most fun I've had now was with the new AMG E63S, because I think it was an absolutely fantastic car. Like we said, it's perfect for road, for comfort driving, and then you can just, with a few dials, adjust the settings to make it really good for a racetrack. And to be honest, it feels a lot like the dynamics of the AMG GT3 race car in the race mode. So I think it was an incredible car, and I think it's one of the few cars where you can actually take a long distance trip to the racetrack, and with a few button changes, then take the car on the racetrack to have a bit of fun.
Well, Arjun, I actually got to know that you also drove the E63 in the Autobahn yesterday. So ladies and gentlemen, let's turn back the clocks a little bit and let's see how that experience went for Arjun.
Hey guys, really exciting day here today as I get to test drive the all-new Mercedes-AMG E63S 4MATIC Plus car. In the background over there you can also see my Mercedes-AMG GT3 DTM car, and straight away you can see the similarities between the front end, the aggressive sporty look that both cars have, and I think this is really cool. Okay, so here we are in the driver's seat, in the cockpit of the car, and one of the things I look forward to most when getting into a new car is the steering wheel. And as you can see, it's a wonderful work of art here. Really good grip on the wheel, which is, you know, perfect for a track day experience or even a relaxed Sunday lazy drive. But the really cool thing about this car is these rotaries here, which adjust the mode you want to be in. So you got your race mode, your Sport Plus, your Sport, Comfort, Individual, and Slippery. So, you know, whatever you feel like doing that day, you got different modes and different helps from the car to help you enjoy the day you need to the most. You've also got more settings here which you can control, like the traction control to put off, your exhausts, automatic stop-start, your AMG dynamic settings as well, and your suspension. So everything in this car is easily adjustable according to what you need and when you need it, and all can be done on the go while driving, which is really cool. Alright, so now let's crack the bonnet open and take a look at the heart of the beast. Okay, so here we have it. 4-liter V8 bi-turbo engine, 612 horsepower to play with a 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds. Okay, let's have a ride in the beast. The really cool thing about this car is you can also adjust the controls on the side of the seat here to make it more narrow, and also by your leg over here. So this is really helpful on a track day, for example, when you want to take the car for a little spin, to have some more cushioning on the sides. And of course, if you want to relax, you can let it open and you got some breathing space. So this was a really cool feature. Straight away it feels really, really good. Very good feedback from the steering wheel. It's very direct, a lot like in the race car actually. Okay, so I'm raring to check out the power in this thing. So let's say we take it to the German Autobahn now and see what we can do. Hey Mercedes.
How can I help?
Take me to the A1. All right. Okay, so we've made our way into the A1 Autobahn without speed limits, and so we're gonna change now to sport mode, for race mode actually, for maximum performance, and we're gonna put it into manual so I can control the gear shifts. Alrighty, so let's see what we got here. Oh my god, a lot of power. We are at 250 kilometers an hour already, 260 now, 270, 280, 290. Can we hit 300 before we reach? 300! Yeah. All right, so another cool feature with the car is when you're cruising in comfort mode, you get cylinder deactivation, which means the engine runs on 4 cylinders instead of 8. And this really helps with fuel consumption. So you can save a lot of fuel by this feature. And again, it proves in a way how it's an ideal car for both sports and for luxury driving, and also can be very good on your consumption as well.
Wow. 300 kilometers. I think I would only feel safe if that was happening on the Autobahn and Arjun Maini was driving. Otherwise, I don't think I would have the guts to be able to do that. Well, that was an amazing drive, Arjun, and it's been wonderful chatting with you. And thank you so much for joining us from Nürburgring. We truly hope that we can meet you one day right here in India. I'm sure that our customers and our media friends as well would be really happy to meet you personally. And now, folks, coming back to Delhi, where these beauties right behind me are waiting to be revealed. So before we do that big reveal for today, could I please request Mr. Rohan Talwar, he is the Managing Director at TNT Motors, to come and join us. And of course, Santosh as well, if you can come and join us.
Hi.
Hi. And do the honors. So ladies and gentlemen, we're a few of us over here, but I'm sure we can make a little bit of noise. Are we all ready? Are we all ready? Yeah? Well, folks, let's take a look at these beasts. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And Rohan, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for having me here.
No, of course. Well, it's a very special moment,
Absolutely,
isn't it?
absolutely.
To be able to launch the 2 new AMGs at the very first APC right here in India. How has your experience with the AMGs been?
Well, I think it's been fantastic. TNT has been associated with Mercedes and of course AMG now for a very long time. We launched the first AMG Performance Center 7 years ago,
Yeah.
right here on the second floor, which is our APC. So I think it just signifies the confidence that we have in Mercedes, the brand, and of course with AMG coming in, it just elevates us to a different level. So it's always a pleasure, and every time I see the car, I'm amazed. So it's a great experience.
Well, thank you so much for having been a partner, especially with us for so long.
You know, when we started, we sold maybe 50 cars in the whole year, and now we're doing more than that in a month. So I think the growth of AMG has just been amazing, and it's to the tune of all the customers that we have. So fantastic growth for everybody, and thank you to the customers as well. Thank you.
Well, looks like that V-shape is slowly changing, isn't it?
Thanks to them.
So. Let's hope so.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave the stage to you now so that you can take everyone through the big product presentation.
Thank you. Thanks, Prisha. I think I'm quite happy to present these two cars. Let me first begin with the product that enters India for the first time. That's the all-new AMG E53 4MATIC that you see right here. So I will go a bit fast on some of these features. I think Arjun has done a great job of actually showing the E63, but still I will do my best to give you some salient features or highlights of this car. So if you see from the looks, this car sports a bold new look on the iconic E-Class from every angle. The LED headlamps, if you pay a close look, it actually matches the lamella grille right in the front. It's the same vertical bar that you see on the grille that you can see on the headlamps itself. And even when you look at the front apron, they have been all aggressive air intakes. It all adds up to a very commanding presence for the car. Also, when you look at the rear, maybe as you see in the chart or in the slide there, it's dramatically shaped. There are different elements to make it look much more sportier as such. And I think the designers have done a great job with this new horizontally oriented LED tail lamps, and it adds a very sporty distinction to this car. Also, now let's take a look at the inside. That's where the cockpit is. And if you see, it's a three-dimensional flow of the cockpit design. It's quite fluid. And from the natural feel of the controls to the ergonomics, there is ease to reach all the information and the entertainment system for the driver as well as for the passenger. So we call it a haven for luxury and fine craftsmanship. What also catches attention is the cockpit, which unites the digital instruments, the multimedia touchscreen into a single floating panel quite seamlessly. What we have also done is, it's a driver's car, so a lot of attention has gone into the steering wheel. This is in Napa leather. It's an advanced electromechanical power steering which can deliver quick response in corners, easier maneuvering even at low speeds. Also, what's important in AMG's is heart of the car, which is under the hood. It's a classic inline 6-cylinder within its most futuristic form. It's of course turbocharged with a 48-volt EQ power boost. Actually, this results in good rapid response to the throttle. It ignites really the soul of an AMG, which inspires the race cars and the drivers. To add to this powerhouse, also you need a good transmission. So there's a 9-speed automatic transmission that delivers quick gear changes. There are 4 driving modes we offer with the AMG Dynamic Select. It's slippery, comfort, sport, and the Sport Plus. So these modes not only offer a blend of smooth and efficient performance, but they also give a very good relaxed cruising feel and at the same time giving quite fast acceleration. The next thing that we have in the car is also, we call it the AMG Ride Control Plus. This is a suspension which combines the advantages of several suspensions in one. The air suspension offers a very broad spread between the most comfortable and sporty setup, just as one wishes. Also, what debuts in this car is an AMG Track Pace. This transforms your AMG car into a virtual race engineer. What it does, this feature stores individual laps and sprints in the vehicle database, and it analyzes the driving skills of the driver. So naturally, one would like to share this, today it's a sharing economy, as we say, and that's possible to share all your things with your friends and colleagues. We will be giving, there will be an app on the Apple and the Android store. This goes live in September 2021. So customers can pair the AMG TrackPace app with the car and also then track their driving. Connectivity, needless to mention, is integral now to all our cars that we do. We have an integral MBUX ecosystem here. It continues to offer best in form of connected services, home functionality, smartphone app functionality, and it also gives access to your E53 from any locations. In fact, it's there even on the E63 AMG. And that takes me now to the next car that we have today, which is the E63 AMG 4MATIC. This, we call it a traction hero. You know, keeps the heart beating at all times. And when you look at this car, actually the new look catches the eye at the first glance. What you see here is also a distinctive product, very recognizable from a distance. Also, as far as Mercedes-Benz is concerned, when you look at an E-Class, which is our series car, it's a long wheelbase car, whereas a standard AMG variant that you see both these cars here, they are in a standard wheelbase format. So, what it means for a customer of an AMG is an E-Class, it's clearly distinguished on the roads. And further, what we have done between these two cars, we have tried to make them look even more distinct. So, when you look at the E63 now, you can easily notice a very big air intake compared to the 53. It's also functional, you know, this like a jet wing, which are not only particularly large, but they also guide the air to where it is required in a very targeted manner. So basically, not only the aesthetics, but it also helps in cooling the engine faster. Also, when you look at the rear of the E63, it's also different from the 53. It's flatter tail lights, two sections which can instantly catch the eye. It's also, you know, now it extends to the boot. It's visually linked with a trim strip, and all this conveys more elegance at the same time lightness. Now here's the center of attention. It's again in the steering wheel. So the steering wheel of an E63 is again different. It's distinctive twin spoke design. It even creates a closer link between the driver and the machine. You saw Arjun referring to it when he was getting into the car. Now this has some cool features. If you look at the steering wheel, maybe later on for friends who are here, they can actually have a look at the car. There is a rocker switch and a controller which allows the driver to select the dynamic select functions even when he is driving. So he doesn't have to leave the steering wheel, he is in control of the car and all the functionalities he can operate from these controllers. Again, the heart of the car, it's a 4-liter V8 that we offer here. It boasts of an explosive power delivery combined with, you know, it's very controllable. So it's not about raw power. It's also, you are in control when you drive this car. You can tell this from the pure AMG V8 exhaust notes when an E63 passes by. And frankly, many of our customers buy this car also for the sound. And it has that distinctive 63 8-cylinder sound as such. What's again unique is also the cylinder management system. It shuts off the cylinders 2, 3, 5 and 8 depending on the engine mapping. When you are driving on a comfort mode, this lowers the fuel consumption. Actually, it's yet another example what I mentioned earlier, practicality with racing performance. So when you are racing, the car is all out to deliver you power. When you are on a normal city driving, the car optimizes, the engine optimizes, and that's why it's best of both the worlds. Also, when you look at the transmission here, it's a 9 gears, we call it a multi-clutch technology. It inspires a lot of sport-loving drivers, and with its dynamic shift throttle, it masters the sporty driving modes. So one can hardly notice any of the gear changes when you drive this car. It's also more agile now thanks to the unique rear axle limited slip differential. It enables optimum power distribution between both the wheels while cornering. So again, this is signature to the E63. Apart from this, it has a 4-wheel drive, but once, you know, many of us are enthusiasts, we want to drive it in the drift mode, so we can convert it to a pure rear wheel drive and the drift mode can be activated in this car. So you can enjoy the thrill of driving when you are using this machine. Also, what's important in a car is not only the engine but the brakes. So with this car, we give them high compound brake systems designed to control the mighty E63S. So this gives the driver always in control. We have also given an AMG drivers package. It allows extension. Now this is very important. This allows extension of top speed to 300 km as Arjun mentioned. So basically we advise customers in India to only use this on the racetrack. But this is something, again, more power on the tap. Maybe it allows the car to go up to 300 km per hour. And that's something again unique to the E63 that we are giving here. But as I mentioned earlier, many customers also demand personalization. They want a car of their choice, they want a car which suits their individuality, and therefore we offer more than 15,000 customization options with multiple paints, upholstery, trim and designo options. So as you see here, you can either choose an AMG carbon fiber package. This emphasizes the dynamism of the E63. But if you prefer a bit more, I would say a night package, which comes in the next slide, as you see here, this has a high gloss black. So regardless of any reasons, it's a clear plus for the E63's individualities. You can choose exterior styling much more to your taste. And also when you look at braking, for example, if you want to really use it more on the tracks, you can go for a composite brake system that cuts the weight. It raises the stamina for this racer, for example. And also under extreme stress, it can stand for a short stopping distance, precise control, maximum durability. So there's a lot of options for the customer here that we have tried to give. Also from a very, generally sports cars, these cars gives high adrenaline. How do we bring back a sense of calmness when you are driving this car? So we have something unique. It's called an energizing package. This bundles all the special equipment with very innovative intelligence. It vitalizes. The moment you activate this, it can vitalize the passengers inside for a prolonged alertness at the wheel. It can help in a pleasant drive, and we call it a wrap. Right now I have told enough. There are two cars, so there are a lot of features there. These cars will be available with the media friends also. Also, it will be now available at the dealerships for the enthusiasts to test drive these cars. So that's a wrap, and over to you, Frisha.
Thank you so much, Santosh. That last point that you just said about the alertness of the driver, I'm absolutely interested in that and wondering how that does take place. Well, I'd now like to ask you, what other benefits is it that a customer especially can expect from Mercedes-Benz after they buy any of the two AMGs?
So, when we were discussing earlier also, we said customer experience is paramount. So it's not about selling this car. What we are committed is also low cost of ownership, and therefore these cars also comes with all our service packages. For the E53 AMG, the service package starts at 1,19,000 odd, and when I look at the E63, it's around 1,35,000 for 2 years. So we have kept the cost low. But apart from the cost, we, I think, are the only brand now in India to have dedicated AMG service base in our dealership wherever we have APCs. So this not only ensures better turnaround time, but we have a dedicated team who are trained, they have the special tools, they are trained in our Mercedes-Benz Academy, and they do the work instructions as recommended by us. Also, AMG customers have dedicated service advisors, diagnostic engineers. Also, we allow them access to the car. So when they come with their baby, because they feel this car is their prized possession, they just don't want to leave it in the workshop. So what we have done is we have created an ecosystem. They can be with the car, they can see the car getting serviced, they can ask the questions, and it's also an educative in that sense when the car is on service. So we have gone a step ahead. Not only this is a low cost of ownership, but a better experience for the AMG customers.
So it's not just about owning the baby, but also having a full 360-degree experience with the baby. Well, you've spoken a little bit about cost. You dropped a few hints over there. So lastly, I guess something that we all would love to know right now is if you could please tell us, and of course announce, the price.
Well, price is relative. In our mind, we have kept it very attractive price for both these cars. The new E53 4MATIC starts at 1.02 crores that you see here, and the E63 4MATIC AMG is priced at 1.7 crores as such. So I think it's a very good package for what we have seen, and for customers who want individualization, designo, we have an online configurator. They can go and even configure the E63 much more to their liking.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can see a few people in the audience who are just itching to get inches closer to these beauties over here. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us today. And of course, a big thank you to Arjun as well. I wondered if we do still have Arjun right over here. Thank you so much for being a part of our chat today. Thank you, Arjun, for
honor for me to be here, and the drive of the car yesterday really put a smile on my face, so I hope it can do for many others as well. So yeah, pleasure's all mine. Happy to be here.
Thank you, and we wish you all the best. And do keep the Indian flag flying very, very high. We'll keep it flying over here for you from the motherland as well. Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Arjun. And ladies and gentlemen, to each and every one of you that are sitting right over here, and to each and every one of you that have tuned in today, thank you for giving us your time and being a part of the AMG experience with each and every one of us. My name is Frisia, and a goodbye from both of us over here, and we hope to see you all very, very soon.
Thank you, Frisia. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.